let's take a look at these Detroit Lions. And I'm going to say this. I'm not trying to blow smoke up everybody's rear on this one. I'm really not.
I'm feeling the smoke up my rear right
I wonder
now.
where that came from.
Where
that phrase come from?
I'd like to look it up because I use
smoke
it.
up my rear.
I use it a lot. I use it a lot. But this team, the Detroit Lions, don't look at the record. Seriously. Okay, there's things they do poorly on defense. You know, we'll talk about that. But this football team offensively, they do some things that can give you some problems. And, you know, I went back, I've looked at all their games. I just wanted to see if there was a pattern. I'm going to tell you who their worst player is on offense. It's their quarterback. That's their worst player.
That's good news. That's a good starting point for victory.
But I also feel like that there's things that they do to keep him from having to be totally a part of this game. And I mean this with the way that they run the football. And it doesn't matter. I mean, they're dealing right now with an injury, I think, to one of their better players with DeAndre Swift. You know, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. They had the bye week last week. This guy is a physical runner. So is Jamal Williams. So is Craig Reynolds. They've got backs. And I teased about a gap scheme. And when I mean a gap scheme is when you play against a team that they're responsible, the blockers are responsible for whichever side the plays run into that gap. They're responsible with a linebacker step up, tackles, ends. You know, it's not a zone scheme. It's just a gap. You've got that gap. Whoever's there, you take it and go. This team really does a great job running the football, and they run it with that gap scheme. And the one thing that you worry about as a Cowboy fan is the run defense. I know, Gavin, you talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And this team, they do it with power. And it really, really starts up front with what they have. Frank Ragnow, the center, I think is a really good center. Penei Sewell, who several years ago was drafted very highly out of Oregon, I think at the tackle does a really nice job. Taylor Decker, I think, does a good job as well as the left tackle. They've got some guys. Dan Skipper, who was with the Cowboys at one time on the practice squad, has been kind of substituting at guard for Jonah Jackson. Well, Jackson's back in, but this team, they do something that you're not very great at, and that's trying to defend the run. And I do worry in this football game if, in fact, that they load up and say, you're not good enough. You're not going to be good enough to stop us from running the football today. And I think that's the thing, if you're a Cowboy fan, you need to be really concerned about, because that gap scheme can be tough when those guards give a little depth and then they just attack. And it's whether right or left, but they're getting pushed, and you see it, whether it's the games I watched. You know, the Vikings game was a great example of that, and early in the season that they just, the Eagles, they were able to run the ball. Whoever they played against. Now, the Patriots were a little bit different before the bye. Patriots had a good plan to stop the run. But what the Patriots were able to do is Goff had to play in the game and throw the ball. The Patriots were able to build a little bit of a lead, and that made Detroit have to throw the football. I think you're going to have to, in this game, do the same thing. I think you're going to have to build a lead and take this running game out of their hands. Because if they find a way to stay even, and it's going to be, hey, they get ahead and they say, how are we going to kill a game? You're going to get that 11, 12 play runs that you saw last week against Philadelphia.
They can do the same thing the Eagles just did?
With more physicality.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, with their backs, with more physicality. Because I just feel like, though, that's
just not sustainable to say, well, we got to stay ahead. It's easy to be like, well, you want a good defense, play better offense. Okay, well, what happens when the offense doesn't work, like in half of playoff games, because you're up against good defenses? Yeah,
I just, this is the one thing that scares me, because I think if you make Jared Goff have to play in this game,
yeah, you got him.
You got him.
Yeah, and he'll give you one. I mean, he has throughout his career.
He fumbles snaps, he fumbles in the pocket, but if you just let him hand the ball off all day, they're going to have some success. But they've got some guys on the outside that, this Amon-Ra St. Brown is, I think, is a good player for them.
So good.
He is. I mean, you put him in the slot, they put him outside. He just kind of move all over the place. He could cause problem. DJ Chark is dealing with an ankle injury right now. Early in the season, though, he was making a lot of plays for them as well. So They're capable of throwing the football. The thing that scares me the most about this team is their ability to run the ball and run it well.
Okay, I got a timeout here. I don't know if have you seen this Broaddus cartoon on Twitter?
No, I have not.
This is incredible.
Just was made.
Okay, this
Who made it?
We're in the middle of Krusty's Corner. This is from @FreshSmart. I'm going to retweet this right here.
Yeah. Oh, well,
this is
thank you,
freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, I quote tweeted it.
They got Broaddus
Fantastic.
broadcasting with your blue vest on like you always wear, and then they got you over here as Ben Franklin flying a
there we
kite
go.
on Halloween.
How about that?
That's
Oh,
freaking
that's great.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. It's very, very talented of you, and it looks like me.
Dude,
it looks
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
like
this
me.
is
It looks
great.
a lot like
Exactly.
me.
Like, it looks more like you than you look like you.
This might
That's
be a new
incredible.
profile pic if you ask me.
tell you
Let's
what,
make NFTs out of that.
Well, can
Yeah.
if somebody does something like that, can I use it? Do I have to ask
Yeah.
permission, or what are we doing there?
I think they're giving it to you.
They're using your likeness, so I
Okay.
think you have some control there.
Okay, let's talk about this defense because this might help you're going to win this football.
Yeah, this
game.
is where the good news comes in,
Yeah,
right?
by the way, blowing smoke up one's arse.
Yes.
Comes from tobacco enemas back in the day.
Okay, that's interesting.
Usually from like
Okay.
drowning victims or something.
Yeah.
Try to help you on out.
It was
I
like to
appreciate
save
that.
people. It was
Oh,
like
it's to save
resuscitate
people.
people.
Okay.
That's how I'm reading
I
it. Like
say
where
that
there
quite a
used to
bit.
be like major waterways where people would like swim and stuff. There would be like equipment there, and people frequenting the waterways were expected to know the location of this equipment just in case something went wrong and they had to blow smoke someone's rear end to save them.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a long flute, and you had to put it in somebody's arse and blow on it. That's amazing.
It was like CPR of the day.
Yeah, I guess.
Backdoor CPR.
Yeah, I wouldn't want any like to come back up.
Well, I appreciate you doing that, Lucius. I learned something.
Like siphoning, saying gas.
Yeah.
You're basically siphoning gas.
The Tolo texted in who made the art from the 206. His name's Amos, and he's from San Diego. He said, go ahead and use it.
Well, thank you very much.
Because of bees.
Amos. I
That's
appreciate
sick,
it.
I believe it's Amos. Sick
Amos?
work, sir.
Oh, Amos.
Yeah.
Amos?
Famous
Yeah,
Amos.
famous
He's
Amos.
the cookies guy.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I don't know
though.
if
Well,
he's
thank
actually
you.
the
Thank you. I'll
cookies guy,
take a
but-
peek at that. But all right, this is where you're going to have to. I think, like you say, the offense worries me for them. The defense doesn't. I think the people you have to worry about here is Aiden Hutchinson, the first round pick out of Michigan. He's going to move both sides, so your left, your right tackle will see him in this game. Michael Brockers, a defensive tackle, has always kind of been a guy that's been a little bit of a problem. I reached out to Gang of Seven. They're talking about maybe, if you wanted to, maybe trade for Michael Brockers. So if that's the case, watching him play, he's still that type of guy, big-bodied inside. The linebackers I really, really like on this team. Malcolm Rodriguez is out of Oklahoma State, and he's a 6th-round pick. I wish the Cowboys would have picked this guy in the 6th round.
Dude, in Hard Knocks, he was the best part of Hard Knocks.
This guy right here is, I tell you what, you talk about getting after the ball. Him and Alex Anzalone, I think, are two.
Yeah,
that-
Anzalone.
Anzalone,
yeah,
Gator,
are
right?
two-
He's a former Gator.
Yeah, he is. I tell you what, both these guys are really get after the ball, attack the line of scrimmage. And then Jeff Okudah playing at the corner. I think you want to kind of stay away from him. He's a
SGP?
Yeah, he's a Grand Prairie kid. He's coming back around. You're starting to see they move him side to side as well. So you see him playing left side, right side. He will match up and walk with your best receiver and try. And they play a little star coverage. Aaron Glenn is their defensive coordinator, and Aaron's a pretty aggressive guy when it comes to trying to attack. But man, teams have had success running the football right at them, and they've been able to, and they haven't been able to hold leads. That's been a problem for them. They get up on teams, and also they got a 14-0 on Minnesota, and Minnesota came flying back in the game. So they've had some trouble with holding some leads. They've had some troubles with giving up some big plays. So if the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, hopefully they'll get this offense going where they put the Lions offense in some bad spots and make Jared Goff have to be the guy that's beating you in this game.
I think you're going to get a big Michael Gallup game because I think Jeff Okudah might make things tough on CeeDee Lamb, and I think you're going to get an opportunity for Michael Gallup to make some big plays down the field in this one.
Yeah, total destruction, a bad defense is what I expect.
Yeah.
If they cannot score on this team enough to make it a non-factor, like if the Lions want to score in the fourth quarter, okay, the Cowboys are coming right back and scoring. If you can't do that against this level of defense, then the quarterback conversation is going to be insane on Monday, isn't it? I mean, the calls you guys are going to be taking.
Sure. I just kind of feel like that to me this defense is for the taking here. But yeah, it's going to be about Dak. You know, he can't come out there, be flat, be rusty, all those things that you kind of worry about, guy coming back.
Yeah.
But man, this defense will give you an opportunity. It's that their offense that's the thing I do worry about.
Well, I think it's good timing. You know, for the second week in a row, I'll ask Steven about the run defense on a Friday. They'll get run all over probably on a Sunday, probably in a winning effort this time. And then they can think about it a little bit more. Yeah. And you got the cap space, you got the draft picks, you got the chance to go win a Super Bowl, Steven. Do it, okay? We don't want to be sitting around here any more years talking about the last time this and that and the other thing.